Good morning. Headed to Disneyland. About to get on I-10 going to Anaheim. Visiting Galaxy's Edge today and the rest of Disneyland. Lupe and I have not been to Disneyland together yet. So it should be fun. Quick day in LA and then tonight headed down to San Diego, right? Down to San Diego to her sister's house. Hello from Disneyland. We're inside Disneyland and Lupe's not too excited with the size of the castle.
What is that?
We're spoiled.
That's nothing.
But they do have streetcars driving by.
Yeah, but I didn't even have a magical day when I came in.
Let's start the day outside. Have a magical day. Alright. So we're gonna go get some rides because there's a lot of short wait times right now. So Lupe beat me on Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin. She says it's the first time she's ever beat me.
First time.
She kicked my butt. It was like 93,000 to 51,000. Killed me. So we did the Finding Nemo submarine ride. Sucked.
I kind of took a nap.
Lupe took a nap. I took a nap too. And then just got done checking in for Galaxy's Edge, which was very, very fluid and easy. Hopefully they do that over in Disney World for Galaxy's Edge because there was more employees than they knew what to do with. So that was pretty cool. And now we're heading to hit our fast pass for the Matterhorn. I don't think I've ever been on it. Have you been on it, Lupe?
No.
No.
I don't know.
First time, who knows? All right, we're getting old, so the Matterhorn was no fun.
It's crickety.
And we got our asses kicked. But
It hurt my joints.
on a happy note, churros. Thunder Mountain. We're in Disneyland as hobos.
You're making it work. No life jackets. Lawsuit waiting to happen.
Rolled in 30 minutes before they scanned us, and we are here.
Waiting.
Yeah, waiting in line.
Open the gates.
No real expectations. We're not super excited. We're just gonna enjoy it and live it, and that's it.
Exactly.
And buy some stuff.
Possibly.
Please? team kind of sucked and you bounced all over the place. Lupe was by herself. We did single riders.
Oh man, not my buddy the probe droid.
So as an Everglades squad member in the 501st Legion, I get pretty sad when I see the destruction of a probe droid, because probe droids are our mascot. They're on our patch. And they've got this probe droid up on the wall. So sad, but cool to see a probe droid. Cheers to my buddy the probe droid. So I'm enjoying it, and their setup is pretty cool because having these reservation times has really broken down the crowd and made it look almost like the photos, their artist renderings of the area prior to. People made fun of it and said, "Oh, it'll never look like that because it's going to be so packed." Definitely not as packed as it would be. It was just free flowing with no appointments. I hope that they do this in Hollywood Studios in Orlando when it opens. We'll talk about more later. Long day, about to continue. Long day, about to continue to be longer because now we have to drive to San Diego.
It's only what, an hour and a half?
Yeah, it's an hour and a half.
Not that bad. And all day, no one said have a magical day. You know who said it? Freaking robot.
A computer screen at the end.
What's that about?
A computer screen on the walkout kiosk said have a magical day.
You couldn't pay me to come back to Disneyland. I'm sticking to Disney World.
Whoa, those fighting words.
Sorry, not sorry.
Where do we have to go? We gotta focus on how to leave.
The tram.
Trams. Otherwise, I had an enjoyable time. Did you enjoy yourself though?
It was okay. It was fine.
Star Wars was cool. I'll give more of a detailed explanation when we're not walking through this area. Bye. Well, we're back, and it's been a little over a week since our trip. There's been a lot of people that have asked questions about Galaxy's Edge, at least to me, and I wanted to go over some stuff that I've been asked, and then information that we were going to share anyways after this video, just to talk about some Galaxy's Edge stuff. I enjoyed it as a Star Wars fan. I felt that, I mean, you could have probably said it was anywhere. It didn't necessarily need to be Star Wars land. There was some different stuff in it that made it Star Wars. Decorations, of course, and then characters that were walking around. I would have liked to have seen a few more characters, but it is set in the present trilogy time where it's First Order. There's no original trilogy type stuff. One of the speeders that's way up high does have some numbers on it that is reflective of the dates that the original 3 movie came out, but otherwise it's really all current time. There's some merchandise that you can buy that goes along with different parts of the timeline, but otherwise the theming of it is current.
You know what they could have had? Photo ops.
with characters.
Yeah, like they had for Star Wars weekends,
Yeah.
like characters just walking around.
Or just like they do in Disney in general, besides stormtroopers.
Yeah, true.
So, but if they're really trying, and I'll go back to a part that was shown in our video where some stormtroopers were kind of going off around a bush, and that was really how they were going off stage. They had the First Order officer telling them that he saw a rebel go around that area. There's rebels that are wandering around the area freely because you're on this base or on this outpost, and these First Order troopers and the First Order are there to protect the base, you know, as they say in the storyline. They're there to make sure that there's peace and order in the galaxy, all that kind of stuff. So those two troopers looked like they were going around a corner to find a rebel that had ducked around a corner to hide, but they were really walking off stage. But that was how they exited stage. So the theming is pretty cool in how everything is, when you're on stage, you're on stage. And it's one thing when you're in the parks and everybody's got to be happy when they're on stage, but these ones, they're actually like on a stage portraying, you know, characters more so than they are in other parts of Disney World and Disneyland. But so you would like more, you know, you would like it if Chewbacca was able to freely walk around. And I think they might be able to add that in the Rise to Resistance side that wasn't really open, like where that other ride's going to be, and then where like the X-Wing was sitting when we first walked in. That might be more of a safer zone for them to be roaming around. So hopefully that's where they add it. I haven't read anything that says that they're going to. So what do you think about the Millennium Falcon ride, the Smuggler's Run ride? We went in by ourselves, or we went in as solo riders. We didn't go through the whole queue, so we probably missed a whole bunch of interactive stuff that they were doing.
Right.
Like they had like speaking parts with Hondo and stuff. So we basically got through a hallway and then right to the part where they say how many in your party. And as single riders, we were just fillers. We were the extra people if it was a party of 5 or 3. Yeah, and you basically get stuck with the engineer, which in that ride you have 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and 2 engineers. And the engineer's job in the ride is to fire grappling hooks because you're stealing fuel, kind of like in the movie Solo. You're stealing the fuel for the Resistance.
Like to fix the...
Then again, there might be different scenarios, and that might have been the scenario that I had. I haven't done a lot of research on it.
Mine was if something broke, I had to fix it. So I had to push the buttons that lit up.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like that, I think, if there was like shields and stuff, or you had to repair something. But, you know, so there was tasks that you had to do. And otherwise, to me, it felt like another Star Tours, because you're looking at kind of a, not 3D, but you're looking out a window and you're flying around in a simulator. But it was cool when you get teamed up, they kind of let you free roam in this area, which is really like the main cabin of the Millennium Falcon, which had the gaming board. It had some different hallways. You couldn't really wander too far, but you could look around and you could see things like Luke's helmet and his little trainer ball that for the lightsaber, and other stuff that you know from the Millennium Falcon. So the ride was cool. If your pilot sucks, I think you get bounced around a lot. And when you're done, they kind of give you a score. And I know mine didn't score well. I've watched a few videos or pictures of people, and they said they scored well. So
I don't remember.
We didn't do so well, but we'll ride it again someday.
I didn't like how, because you had a job to do, so you had to take your eyes off the screen and then look at whatever you had to do, and that can cause some nausea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Your vertical is discombobulated, so.
I did have a chance to try the blue milk. The blue milk was.
I tried it too.
You have a sip? You had a, oh yeah, you had a sip.
Before you did.
The first sip. So it was a combination of rice milk and coconut milk. So it was refreshing. And it was really just a smoothie or something like that. Lupe wasn't fond of it.
It was really sugary. Like a
I didn't think it was that sugary, but I enjoyed it. And the green one is mango, or has mango in it. Yeah, well, I didn't try it. One thing I did do, and the way that I paid for it, was I waited in line at Droid Depot, and they have these little, almost like a challenge coin, but they're a medallion coin. It is metal, it's not like a plastic. And you purchase it, you have to put a minimum of $100 on it, but you get to keep this thing for free after. And it's, you know, a token, but it was kind of cool where you go to pay for stuff and you can put it on a table or hand it to them as if you're using the currency of the time or the currency of the land. And there's just a QR code on the back, and they just scan it like any gift card in Disney, and you get to use it. So it is reloadable, and you can use it throughout the Disney parks, because I used it when we paid for dinner in New Orleans, in the New Orleans area. And
does it work for Disney World?
Yeah, it's just a gift card for any kind of Disney. So yeah, it just says Disney gift card. So I'm gonna try and use it next time we go to Disney World.
Well, he was getting that, waiting in line for that. I was waiting in line to get our names for the cantina.
Because as we were walking in, there were employees that were telling us to, or cast members telling us to go get in line, and that we only needed one person, so Lupe volunteered for that.
Right up.
And I took care of the coin, and Lupe took care of that. And how'd that line go?
It was fine.
And what'd you have to do at the end of it?
I don't know.
You had to give your name and a phone number?
I'm sure. Oh, yes. Yeah. I gave your name and his phone number. I didn't like giving my number.
As she usually does for everything. But it was a virtual queue, and we had to wait 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And they send you a text immediately, and it says in about 2 hours and 15 minutes we'll text you back, which they did, but we were already kind of waiting and loitering around the front of it. And then they brought us in. The cantina was really cool. It wasn't totally packed, but it was just, you know, spread to where everybody kind of had a spot on the bar, and then there were some tables, and it was a little confusing because they were trying to move people through quick, and they told us that we had about 40 minutes in there, but we weren't gonna.
And then it has like a hint of New Age, like not so Star Warsy, with the DJ.
Oh yeah,
music.
that it had, yeah, that the DJ was there and kind of had a you know,
Like
club type theme to it a little bit,
like
more than just a bar.
I would have rather liked just like the little fake band.
You want like the Biff band, you know, playing like
Yeah.
just continue playing that
No,
same,
no.
play that same song.
No. Like, I don't know what you call those, like the fake animatronic little bands.
Oh, just playing anything.
Just playing anything, but just being like weird characters instead of this DJ that it's like.
It's DJ Rex though.
Who is that guy?
Rex was the old pilot from the original Star Tours. He was the pilot before they put C-3PO in Star Tours.
Oh, see,
And
I
he was
don't
like-
know. I'm not
not a Star Wars
I'm not
nerd.
a Star Wars nerd. I just
So Rex is kind of a throwback.
But was he a DJ?
What do you want people to tell you if they liked it or not? What do you want them to do?
What? Oh, comment below.
Pretty much the whole thing is a money grab. It's a giant store to buy all types of Star Wars paraphernalia. Every store was cool. They each had their own type of theme. We'll breeze right over because we didn't build a droid. We did not build a lightsaber. Although everything that I've read and heard, they're very cool. But to go along with a lot of Star Wars merchandise, I just don't have the room for it. And when I continue to come home with more and more Star Wars merchandise and stuff, she's not too happy because it just takes up more space, and where is it going to go? In storage, all that kind of stuff. So I abstained from buying a lot of stuff. But then a lot of stuff I was just kind of like, I don't really need it, you know. But it was cool, and there's a lot of new type stuff if you've been through Star Tours, and you've seen a lot of Star Wars things like at Celebration and comic conventions. There were new items to buy. And in the one artifact store, they did have some really cool stuff with the holocrons and the kyber crystals. But again, for me, my mentality was, after we get home, basically that night, go to sleep, and if I wake up tomorrow morning, if I'm like, oh my god, I love this, I want to keep using it, might have been worth it. But I just had a feeling that a kyber crystal and a holocron, sorry everybody, the next morning I was just going to be like, oh, all right, and it was going to end up on my desk at work, and I was never going to use it again, or it was going to end up in a box. So I was like, I'm not going to spend the money. So I didn't.
Yeah.
Let's read. Anything else? Oh, at one point in the video, I post up the words to tell you and mention it, but there was a cool effect with a lot of the sounds and things of the land that it was really stereo sound. It would come from one side of the area to the other, and it would be like a starship or a spaceship or a transport craft flying through to like land. And so that would move through the speakers all the way to where the landing pad was, and I thought that was cool. And during the little part in the video, you see it, or I mention it because it's when I'm talking to about the probe droid. It flies over. Another time, when we were coming around a corner, I could hear people talking, and I thought there would just be people around there, but it was people talking, and it was part of the land, and it was more of a native talk rather than just some people going, oh yeah, we're here in Star Wars land. It was really like what characters would be saying to each other if they were there. So
Man, you remember a lot.
That was kind of cool. I've been asked a few times by different people, like, hey, what did you do?
My ear.
You can itch your ear.
It's really itchy. I don't remember that much, like that much detail.
Because you wanted to leave.
It's not that I wanted to leave. It was just so commercialized. Everything was about buying stuff. Buy this, buy that, buy this. Gimmick drink this, gimmick drink that, blah, blah, blah.
You don't have to love.
It was cool. It was cool. It was really cool to be in there because it was just different, and it was Star Wars like live, and it made you feel like you were a part of it. But it's just like, buy this.
Yeah, everything wanted you to spend money. The employee costumes I thought were cool.
Yeah, they were.
I really liked. There's a hat that one of them had that kind of looked like a safari hat. It was like a hardened mesh like safari hats have, and it kind of comes off the back a little bit like a firefighter hat with like a bill that goes backwards. But it looked very themed, and it was cool.
That was a cool hat.
Yeah, and it was nice, and it was really.
It sat like up your head, so like the breeze could get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really looked like it let the air circulate around you, but then kept shade. I mean, almost not as ridiculous, but as those umbrella hats work.
Yeah.
Like you got a big umbrella hat,
For
goofy.
sure.
But of course, themed better and better made than an umbrella hat. And they all had different sayings that they would say to you, just to stay in character, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up so this video doesn't get any longer than it already is.
Okay.
And we enjoyed it. Lupe says she's not going to go back to Disneyland.
No.
What about California Adventure?
I might go to California Adventure just because Justin's brother Zachary, what's his hashtag?
Walt's Apprentice.
Oh,
at
Walt's Apprentice. He said that I need to check out a Flaming Hot Cheetos.
Flaming Hot Churro?
Yes, Flaming Hot Churro that says it's out of this world, and I'm a lover of Cheetos Flaming Hot. So I might just go for that.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm going to go to Disneyland again.
Maybe during Celebration while you're there.